Hello, I'm Derek with K&P Roofing. I'm here at Sig Pointe condominiums. Been working with them about their storm damage claim. I met with the adjuster several months back. At this point, the property's asked me to at least get this in. Winter's coming, settling in. This is where I actually pulled the ITIL to try to do the proper repairs. Insurance company came back. We actually requested that they pay for the ITILs on all these repairs, and they kind of denied us on that. So we went ahead and pulled our own one. ITIL did deem the shingle color and size is discontinued. So at this point, we are forced to put this back until we got resolution. So I'm gonna start tearing this off, but I'm gonna keep talking while I'm doing this. The problem with this shingle, and the reason why we haven't even done the repairs yet, is because we tried to source some material all through Louisville. ABC, Reese Wholesale, even some of our smaller distributors are hoping that they had some leftover inventory, since they have actually discontinued the size, I believe in 2010. So obviously it's 2022, so 12 years later, the shingles just don't exist anymore. We did grab so this is a Tamco product. We did grab it's a Tamco pewter, and so we grabbed a new Tamco pewter. So I'm gonna start by just getting rid of some of these. As you can see, even when we did pull the shingle to even get the ITIL, you can see by the age and condition, this shingle is just completely worn out. I mean, we tore the product coming in. We got creasing, a little bit of creasing here, and that's just to get the shingle out to send to ITIL. This is going to be a lengthy video because we cannot warrant this repair by any means. You can see I just tore the shingle just by lifting to get my cap nail out right here. That's all fresh tears with fiberglass matting. But the property is concerned that a tarp can't make it through the winter, and that's why we're out here. We do want to, we are videotaping this repair because we will not be liable, K&P will not be liable for anything, because this is going to be probably, in our professional opinion, an unethical repair. This shingle's torn already right here. You can see just trying to pry this shingle, I tore this one as well. I mean, these shingles are so old that everything's just tearing. We can't even get our flat bar in without here. We just ripped the corner off that shingle. So we're causing quite a bit of damage just in the repair. Just pulling the cap nail from the top, the head of the nail, it actually pulled the laminate up from the barbs. So these are cap nails are barbed. Just the little bit of barbs pulling from the head of the nail, not even underneath this, has delaminated the shingle here. I'm gonna try to do the same here and see if we get the same effect. Here, I'm directly underneath the nail, not underneath the shingle. I tore the corner. Part of the shingle still left in my flat bar. I mean, as you can see, it literally, the barbs on the cap nail tore the corner out, and there's still sections on my flat bar. Right here, I mean, it actually pulled it to delaminate it from the barb it's pulling. Like I said, we're videotaping this because we deem that this is a non-warranted repair. The insurance company just basically told us that they don't owe for this. We tried to stress to them that we can't even find the same size, and that's why we want to show this in great detail. So at this end of this video, you are going to see me use Karnak, which is a roofing tar / adhesive, to kind of piece some of these torn shingles back together, because I can't just bring enough shingles to do this, you know, as we destroy the shingles in the surrounding areas. Like I said, this is a Tamco pewter. The original shingle was a Tamco pewter, but it was an English cut. The size of the exposure is the key on this. Right here is 5 5/8. The exposure on this shingle is 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches on the existing, which is called an English cut. This is 5 5/8, which is a metric shingle. Also, the width is different. This is 39 1/2. The original shingle is 37 inches. So we either have two options here, and we're going to try first option, which is overexposure, and I'm gonna show it to you, and then I'm going to show you what underexposure is going to do. Not for sure how we're going to put this back together, but before we do that, if you can see just by pulling the shingle, all the mat transfer, because these shingles are not designed to take apart after they've sealed. They're designed to become one unit, to be welded together, so they last. When you break the seal of these shingles, I mean, you have issues with delamination right here. I mean, it's torn the chunk out of this shingle right here. It's torn the corner out of this shingle. It's torn the base mat. I mean, just lifting the shingle, you can see 1.5 inches. I mean, it's tearing the shingle. So back to our two options here before I manipulate the shingle. We have underexposure. We still have to cut the shingle to length. So you have underexposure. At this point, the sealant strip is supposed to hit this common bond, so it has a continuous seal strip. Here, you have an elevation difference between the overlay and the base mat. So you have a gap. As you can see, I'm going to use my flat bar, where the sealant will not properly seal. If this is laying down flat, this has a void here. At that point, wind could possibly catch this and tear off future shingles. So this is underexposed. Let me just shut off my phone here. Now we have overexposure, okay? Which would basically get into the same problems with that. So if I bring this shingle down to where the sealant strip, and we're gonna have to hand seal this one, which is not typical in these situations. But now I got the sealant strip to where it hits the common bond. Now the sealant strip down here has a void. Does that make sense? I mean, right here, the sealant strip that's designed from the manufacturer is gonna have a void, and it's never gonna truly bond in this location. It's gonna bond here, tight. It's gonna bond here, tight. At this point, I can stick my flat bar in 3/4 inch, 7/8. So there's no sealant here. No sealant here. There's sealant here, because it's gonna bond to this shingle here. There's no sealant here. So at this point, we're gonna overexpose this one. I am gonna remove these few shingles here because they are completely destroyed. And I cannot leave the property like this. There are several courses. There's 2 courses of nails per shingle. There's a common bond, and then where the common bond here is, it hits the base mat here. So there's technically supposed to be 8 shingles, or 8 nails per shingle. You can see that I'm in a t-shirt as well, so we're not out here when it's cold, you know, where the brittleness is based off of the temperature. This is just the condition, which we understand. Condition is not a warranted repair, but the storm damage that occurred to the property is out of the control of the HOA. As you can see, just removing this shingle, I've torn this one. I mean, the corner is completely gone. Pop this down so you can see the corner of that just completely tore underneath there. Where's these other fasteners? I do want to point out that these fasteners, once again, just are tearing through every attempt to remove them. One more shingle and I'm going to start applying the 2 new ones that we have. Like I said, we've removed the first course of nails. Now I have to get the second course of nails. It's in the top base mat. As of right now, I'm just lifting the shingle high enough to get the fasteners out. But as you can see right here, just by my thumb, just the pressure I put on my thumb, it's just tearing this shingle. And I have not even lifted it high enough to even drive my nails in yet. And that's just high enough. That's barely even the width of a flat bar. This should be the last fastener. Alrighty. So like I said, we're going to install these few shingles. I will just run some basic tarmac or carnac over top of these other holes because this just will never stop. I'm going to have to cut the shingle to length. Start with. Like I said, search everywhere in Louisville for this product. It being 12 years non-existent, is out of our control, out of the property's control. So at this point, we got to make a judgment call: overexpose, underexpose. I think we're going to overexpose this one to start with. Because otherwise, if I had, I have another option. I could cut the bottom of this entire shingle off and reseal it. We're just going to overexpose it. You can see where this is designed here for our nailing strip. It's got a 1 inch wide place to put our fasteners. You can imagine the amount of repairs that have been put on here. It's put on the repair scope from the insurance company to have to manufacture, to redesign the shingles on site and cut every one to length. I mean, make the decision whether to overexpose, underexpose, because that's not how the manufacturers design these products. And as you can see in the end, we're gonna have no other options but basically to glue this thing back together, because we're being forced to go against how the manufacturer designed this product to function. So K&P, little backstory, K&P's been in business for about 30 years in the little area. We're a well-respected roofing contractor. And what we're doing right here is kind of pathetic, to be honest with you. We're being forced to do something that isn't ethical. Must have missed a fastener up here. We're hitting the cap nail. As you can see, this shingle wasn't even damaged, you know, but I lifted it again and we tore even more of the shingle. So our cap nails from the felt that are hanging up on this. So I do have to lift these shingles up to try to get the nails at a 90-degree angle. But you can see as of this point, this is starting to delaminate. We got tearing of the shingles. And this isn't even the higher fulcrum, because this right here, this shingle right here is going to be the ultimate test on repairability. I do want to state, several things before I finish this final course. We got delamination of this, tear here. Do you remember we got corner of the shingle missing here? We also got base mat, or sorry, the face of the base mat pulled through from just pulling a cap nail. These are overextended. We still don't have sealant in here. We still haven't started gluing this back together. But those are some of the problems that we're trying to stress. So at this point, we do have a row of fasteners that are still here. So I'm gonna have to lift this shingle with more pressure to get my fastener in a 90-degree angle. Already started to delaminate right here. Already started to delaminate right here. First fastener. As you can see, I'm just lifting the shingle high enough with my thumb. I can't even get my hammer in here yet. And this shingle has torn right through here. Oh, I mean, I was just holding steady. No more pressure was being applied. And this shingle just tore straight up through. There's a second fastener. As you can see, this is starting to delaminate. This roof is not repairable for multiple reasons. I'll be right back and get the caulk done. The only reason why we're out here today is because the property management group is a long-term client of ours. Asked us to assist. They don't want to deal with any other contractors. We stress to them over and over again that we do things right. That's why they continue to use us. It's the sole reason why we're videotaping this repair, because we are being forced to do something that's completely 100% unethical. And anybody, you don't even have to be a roofer at this point. I mean, we could put this on any TV show and watch it, let America watch this. Anybody in their right mind knows that this is not a proper roofing repair. So like I said, I'm going to be hand sealing this, basically gluing it all back together, putting a little bit down here, hand seal this, trying to fill this void where our sealant strip isn't even going to hit because we've overexposed the shingles. I mean, look at this chunk that's missing just by pulling a nail up here at the top. Right now, I'm physically gluing the roof back together. I gotta physically glue this shingle back together. I mean, if we replace this shingle, what's gonna happen to this shingle? What's gonna happen to that shingle? At this point, I'm just gonna just fill this up, kind of glue her back together, I guess. And then we can continue. So we don't want to pull too many shingles, because as you can see, we're just destroying things all around it. So I'm going to be putting just dabs of adhesive over top of these fasteners, or these holes from the fasteners. Another one. I think that's all of them. So at this point, this is basically the repairs, miscellaneous all over the property, that the insurance companies, I mean, they haven't full-blown suggested. They basically said figure it out, kind of, and that's in layman's terms. We actually pulled our own shingle, sent to a company in Florida named ITEL. Most insurance companies, probably 95% of them, use that company to identify the product to see if a repair can be made. Also, we are stressing that the roof is not repairable due to the age and condition. There is a consequential damage law in the state of Kentucky. That should kick in. There's also a matching statute for color, size, quantity, and shape. Obviously, we can tell that this isn't the right size and shape. I had to manufacture the shingle. We got it overexposed, and we pretty much had to glue it all back together. Lastly, I'm not going to burn you through the video. If you want to come on over here, I want to show you this other shingle here. Well, we can go over here where it's just, there's repairs all over this property. This also is an English cut shingle from Tamco. They've discontinued this product. As you can see, the overlays are oversized. These shingles, we can't source them. At that point, there's miscellaneous repairs. We got missing shingles on the bottom of here. We've got creased shingles. We got torn shingles all over the property. And this is the type of repairs that we're being forced to do. I guess I hope this video thoroughly explains what we're trying to portray here. And we will be showing to the property, letting them know that, you know, we're doing everything in our power within the realm that the insurance company is allowing us. Thank you all, and you have a great day.